also has several other use cases. So there's also one more very big benefit of using styles. So one more very big benefit of using styles, just for headings, is that, like, okay, you have now your heading is saying that you have got your chapter heading and it is font size 14 and it is underlined, it is bold, and it is of a particular color. Now you say that, okay, my chapter headings should look slightly different. You want to use a different font for your chapter headings, or you want to increase the size of the font of all your chapter headings. Today what will need to be done? You will have to go to every chapter and make those changes? Yes? Very low energy today. Huh? No yeses, no's coming. You see, I know everybody, a lot of us know about it. फिर भी यार yes no बोलो ना, I mean, say something. Huh? So that is how we will do today. What is the alternative? If we apply styles, we just make a change in one place and it will reflect in all the places where that style has been applied. So that's another benefit that can come by using these styles. Okay, back to Prashant.
Okay, so let me show you how exactly to do it. On the screen I am showing you this document which seems to be very well formatted. At the very top you see this title of the document, Worst Ocean Disaster, written in uppercase, large font. So visually I think as I am scrolling through the document, I think you will agree that it is fairly well formatted. Different topics are like very prominent. So, but this document unfortunately is not accessible to the you can say visually impaired and other people with disabilities. For them, all the text are like just regular text. All of them are same. Screen reader will read even the heading and the body text the same way. They cannot determine what is a heading and what is not a heading. They are also not able to navigate. The headings are used for navigation, so they are also not able to quickly go to a particular topic. And I will tell you that I can challenge that even sighted people in this room, non-disabled people, if you have this document open, you yourself cannot quickly navigate in such documents. Suppose in this document I ask you to find a topic, a section named Aftermath. Aftermath. I think what you will do is like visually scroll through the document like this quickly, and visually you will be scanning where is it. So it may take you some time, sometimes you can even skip past it. So it will take some time. You cannot do that with certainty and quickly. So the Microsoft feature which has been there for always and for everyone is to use a feature called navigation pane. So it's highly recommended that you always make use of it. Whenever you are creating any document for yourself, so please you should be using it. It is inside the View tab. There is a item called navigation pane. Okay, I am highlighting it on screen right now inside View ribbon. In the older Microsoft versions, this is named slightly differently. I think it's named document map, I think. So, but what it does is, it will try to create a list of headings on the left side of your document. And here it's saying that there are no headings. Okay? So you can see the remarkable difference here. that this seems to be a good formatted document, but it is actually not. And then I will now show you another version of this document which is actually properly formatted, and just see the difference. Okay, yes. So you see, this is now the same document, now formatted using heading styles. And here, in that navigation pane, we have list of topics. Visually also you can see their hierarchy, which is the main chapter and which is the subsection. One can click on any topic and quickly move to it. And as I said, you can even rearrange there. With mouse you can drag topics and put them one below another and all that. So heading styles are extremely useful, and this is the right way to create a document. Okay. So how to use heading styles? In Microsoft Word, in Home tab, there is a item called Styles. Okay, so you can just click on that, and there you will find many styles like this, heading 1, heading 2, and so on. You can open it in different ways. Keyboard users, visually impaired people, you can press Ctrl Shift S to bring up a list of styles. When you apply a certain style, for example heading 1, it will use a certain font and color and all. If you don't like it, you can customize it. The good thing is, if you have used heading 2 10 times in your document, you customize one of them and all the 10 of them, they will get updated. The look and appearance will change. So I think, like, as a screen reader user, I will say this is 50% of the accessibility issue, at least the most major important issue for visually impaired people, the ability or inability to navigate a document and also understand the sequence of topics, their hierarchy and the content. So probably the most important thing to be done, and very easy to fix. So for example here, you just need to click on the topic, not even necessary to actually select the topic, because this one is the first and most important topic in the document. So this one should be heading 1. So what we need to do is, we need to open the styles panel, and then we need to click on the heading 1. Heading 1, and you should be keeping the navigation pane open. This will give you a confirmation that yes, it's done. This is now a heading 1. Everybody will understand it. My screen reader will say heading 1 and then read it. Okay, so that's how it's helpful. Similarly, there is another topic, background. Here, anybody, what heading style should be applied? Heading 2, of course, because it's like, so if you are the author of the document, if you are creating it, you will be the best judge as to what style it should be. If you are doing somebody else's document, you will have to kind of read it a little bit, but I think it's not too difficult to understand what is which is main section, which is subsection. So we applied heading 2. Visually also you can see its hierarchy is obvious, and my screen reader says heading 2. In screen readers we have keystrokes. You immediately just go to heading 2, heading, whichever heading. We even have the ability to create list of headings. So it's extremely useful, this part. Okay, so I am showing the same document which you have in your folder, and sometime later you can try it out. So now let me just go to the next point, which is about images. Okay, so the next important thing to make a document accessible is to provide descriptions, textual description of graphics. So you may be having some photographs, sometimes maybe a chart, a flow chart, map, or anything like that. So the non-visual users, particularly blind and no vision people, they are not able to see that, and they are not able to therefore understand or get the information contained in those pictures and graphics. So the guidelines say that all relevant or important graphics should be provided a textual description, and there are 3-4 techniques to do it. First and most important is the alt text, most common, most often used. So we can right click on any graphic in Word document and choose the option View Alt Text. Again, this option can be located differently in older Microsoft Word and like OpenOffice and all. So basically we are searching for alt text. Sometimes it is in format picture, or sometimes it is inside the size option also. So you want the format picture option, the alt text option, and there you can type a short description of the graphic, short like 2-3 sentences at the most. So describe what you see and not what you think, no interpretation, just very objective type short description, as if you want to tell a blind person what the graphic is about. Here also note that some of the graphics may not be important. Some of them could be there just for decoration purposes. Like in this document, near the bottom there is this border kind of a thing. Okay, so this graphic is actually not important. This is just for presentation, decoration purposes. So you need not describe them, not at all. They can be marked as decorative. In the newer Microsoft Word versions, there is an option after alt text called Mark as Decorative. So you can just select this checkbox. Then what happens is, screen readers and other tools, they skip that graphic. They don't say anything about it. When you give alt text, it will read alt text. Alt text will not be seen on screen, but will be read out by the screen reader type tools, read aloud or TTS tools. If you don't give alt text, then it will try and read maybe the image file name, the URL from which the image was copied, some very unnecessary junk type thing, random thing is read out to the user, so which is not good. So that is why you should always go and check the alt text field. If there is something unnecessary, unusual, remove it. If necessary, type something meaningful, or if it is decorative, mark as decorative. Okay. There will be some situations where the graphic is like very complex, requires a longer description, like maybe a bar chart with like lots of numbers and other things. Then you need to write a longer description. That longer description can be written below the graphic in the document itself. You can write a caption in the description, then maybe even create a table for that bar chart, or just in words describe what is in that bar chart. This description can even be put at the end of the document. That is also an option, if you are like thinking that it disturbs the visual presentation and all. So from the image you create a link which goes to end of document, and then the longer extended description is over there. Okay. One last point, sometimes the graphic may already be described in the surrounding text. In the paragraph above or below, the author may have already sufficiently talked about the graphic. In such a case, we don't need that long description at all. even we don't need much lot in the alt text. Alt text need not repeat the same information. Here the alt text should be very minimal, something small, something additional to what is already there. Even one word, sometimes a bar chart, a photograph, even that kind of small alt text is sufficient when it is already described in the surrounding text. So this is alt text, and it's very easy to do. Just right click on any graphic and find the alt text option, and there you can provide this description. Okay, it should be done for all graphics in the document. Okay, I will stop for questions in between because I am also very conscious of the time, and so want to cover the most important topics. Okay, you see tables. So the guideline, a very simple guideline. Actually, it is the right way and the best practice. If you are creating or showing some tabular data in your document, then create a proper table, a table with rows and columns. Sometimes people will make it look like a table. You type something, press tab key or space, and then type the next column. So visually it looks like a table, but technically it is not. So that is not the right way. You should always be using the table feature in Microsoft Word. Insert a table with certain number of rows and columns, and then type the text inside it. If you feel like, you can hide the lines, the grid lines. No problem, you can hide the grid lines. Avoid merging cells. Sometimes people will merge the cells in the top row and type a heading for the table in that row, in the center. Okay? That is not a right way to do it. You can type that heading outside the table, above it. There is no harm in doing it. Visually also it looks same. So when you merge some cells, then the assistive technology users, they have a difficulty understanding the table, understanding the column headings. Otherwise, if a proper table, a simple table is highly accessible for the visually impaired and other users. They have the ability to move from cell to cell. They can at any point of time find out which column they are reading, which row they are reading. All those features are available to them, provided it is a simple table and cells have not been merged. Sometimes cell merging is unavoidable because of the kind of data, so then you can, if it is unavoidable, it's okay. But just for presentation purposes and all, don't merge cells in a table. Also, another guideline, you have to mark the header row. Okay, so in how to do it, you should be selecting the row which contains the column headings. Like I am showing on the screen, the first row is selected. Then you can do right click or application key for context menu. From there you can open table properties. Inside the row tab, there is a tab page for row. You have to check the checkbox, repeat as header row. Repeat as header row. This is actually a very important necessary feature also. Sometimes when the table is long, it is going to the next page also. Even when a sighted person will read the next page, they will not know the column names, the column headings. When you check this checkbox, column headings are repeated on every page. And additionally, the assistive technology, the tools, they also know which is the column heading and they read it out when required for the user. Okay, for table then, so I mean, like in summary, prepare simple tables, avoid merging cells, and mark the header row. Okay. So in the practice document that we have given, we have created a table, something which looks like a table, but technically it's not. So it's near the top. whenever you are doing a practice, you see this part on the screen. Why it's not a table? You can like try and select it. You will see that there are no lines or no cells. So this part should be converted to a proper table, and the header row should be marked. Okay. In Microsoft Word, there is a feature to convert text to table also. So you need not do it manually. In the table menu, you get an item called convert text to table. So that is also helpful sometimes when you get this kind of raw kind of table. When you scan books, sometimes you will get this. It will look like a table, but it will not be. So you should be converting it to a proper table. Okay. Okay, one more point and then I will see if there are some questions. This is something which is like very, very common and a big barrier to accessibility. So people often use text boxes, okay? Text boxes to place some content the way they want. So you can see on the screen, in Microsoft Word there is an option to insert a text box, and you can even insert different types of shapes like a round circle, different types of things like, and then it's possible to type some text in it, and then you can drag it with your mouse and place it anywhere. Okay, so people often use this feature. So the text box is totally inaccessible for screen reader. Screen reader will just skip it. It won't know where the screen reader, where the text is. It will not read anything inside, by and large in general. Some tools will not know in which sequence to read it. So for example, on the screen, maybe it will read the text after the text box first and then maybe the text box context. So the reading order also becomes a problem, and by and large, first of all, most tools will not read it at all. So text boxes have to be avoided totally. Okay. So what do you do in its place? You can actually achieve the same visual layout using the paragraph indenting and paragraph border options. So it's possible for us to type something, put some margin on its left and right using the indenting option, paragraph indent, and if we like, we can put any kind of border around it also. So to a large extent, we can make it look like what we want to, and it will be accessible. Okay. So instead of text box, use borders and shading and indenting features. Avoid text boxes totally. Okay. All right. So any question up to this point, please? Yes.
Doesn't this box when it is playing, doesn't it actually sound like a word processor numbers? Because that's a feature which is widely used.
Yes, very right.
Yeah, it's very widely used, and so why do we actually fix it and make it accessible? So inside the text is not at all.
You pass in the mic.
From screen readers,
Yeah.
but from screen reader's perspective, and I've come across text boxes these are treated actually as objects,
Yes.
inline objects.
Yes.
So there are some screen reader support where if you do a command for example in JAWS, if you do Control-Shift-O, the object and the text is read out. But of course, it's absolutely not advisable to use.
Job of assistant technology networks.
Yeah.
So, or yeah, I mean, like maybe there is a case for Microsoft not giving us this feature, or maybe doing something more about it. But anyway, like people use Microsoft Word for different things, even creating a poster kind of a thing, even a greeting card and all, where such things are sometimes required, like you want to, you are focusing on visual presentation only. So anyway, the feature is there, but I think like whenever you're creating a report kind of a thing, letter kind of thing, writing a text box, assignment, it's easy to avoid it. There are alternate ways, better ways of doing the same thing. So, so avoid text boxes. Yeah.
Just one more thing that I'd like you to touch upon is basically drawing tables of shapes versus inserting tables of shapes. Like I know you talked about inserting tables, but there's also a feature to draw tables and draw shapes. But that's also
Yeah. Drawing is also not accessible. Yes, like table can be drawn also. You can like draw lines, crisscross and all that, and type something or something like that. So the accessibility guidelines are simply saying that use the best practices, the right ways, correct ways only. So you are trying to you want to create a table, but you, instead of using the main simple insert table feature, you are doing some workaround. That kind of things are not advisable. So avoid that.
And Prashant, have you tried, do you want to comment on something that now that the world is talking about generative AI?
Yes.
So they can actually enhance the accessibility of this thing. It enables authors to do things much easier. For example, like Adobe Toolstream. Now you just give a description and it will be
Yes.
open.
Yes. So even in newer Microsoft Word packages, that all text, you have an option to generate it online using AI. In the all text field, there is a button you can click and it will create a description. But use that with caution, because sometimes it's like not correct at all. It's very like random, or can say not applicable to the context at all. So it's possible, but yeah, use it very cautiously, I would say. And yeah, like in the future there are other things. Even now, I think there are some AI tools where you can upload a picture and it will give you a good description, or vice versa. Put a description and it will give you the picture. So, but that's okay. But we are actually now at this time just focusing on improving our own documents. So those the future many things can change, of course. Okay, now let me also please talk about other points quickly. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, just a moment. Yes, it is here. You want me to make them hear it? Or? Okay.
Anything might test you up.
So if I what I can put the sound to the projector. Okay.
He has a
All right.
Okay, so you have this table on the screen, and what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to show you. Remember that we have put in as a header. We have described that which row of the table is a header. Now, when I'm reading it, I'm just going to give you a glimpse of what impact that has on accessibility. So what I'm doing is I'm just moving from left to right column once, right? So just listen to it, try to listen to it, how it is reading it out.
Mike is there.
Length column 4 210 meters, 700 FT. Tonnage column 3 21,035. Ship column 2 RMS Cedric.
So it says,
But similarly, headings also, I'm just giving a command, pressing the letter Shift H here.
Heading level 2 background. Heading level 1 worst ocean disaster in world's history. Titanic goes down. 1,341 lives are lost. Heading level 1 blank. Heading level 1 blank. Heading level 2 background.
Okay, so it's jumping from one section to another section straight away, and the reading can commence basically on it. So this is the impact of what happens if we are following these guidelines, besides making, of course, this document completely useful for everybody.
I will again give some time for questions, but I want to move to next topic. So hyperlinks. So very often in our documents we create hyperlinks which people can click and go to some other place, some website or something. So hyperlink names should be meaningful in themselves. Don't use words like click here, read more, these kinds of words and make them hyperlink. Instead, like here, I'm showing on screen, there is one sentence, click here, and if this is a hyperlink, the complete sentence is click here to download the annual report. Instead, this could be rewritten as download the annual report, and the whole thing can be made a hyperlink. So screen reader users and others, they sometimes navigate from link to link. We can also create list of links. At that time, we are reading name of link only, and we expect that by reading the link name only, we will understand its purpose, what it will do. So when we read link names like click here, read more, that kind of link name, then we are not aware of the context, what it will do. So the guideline says link name should be meaningful in itself, and no two links should have the same name or label unless they point to the same thing. In the document, two links should not be having the same name also unless they are going to the same place. So that is also another guideline. Very simple, easy thing for creating hyperlinks. It doesn't affect anybody. Yeah.
I have a question
Yes.
regarding links.
Yes.
So once in our document we had two links in the same line. So my student said that's not acceptable, break it into second line. So can you explain how that happened? Like they had one link on the same line, it said contact us, colon, and email ID, and then after a gap it says the website of the particular content. So students said no, they have to break it into two separate lines.
No, I think this not really inaccessible. Maybe they were not using all the correct keystrokes and all to navigate. So like
word wrapping.
Otherwise it's okay.
Yeah, otherwise it's okay. I mean, like
Even that can be solved using browser.
yeah, sampling it's okay.
Students can navigate using browse mode through the document and through the link they can share. So that won't be an issue even if it's the same line.
So there's no technically accessibility issue is not there in the same.
Okay, font sizes and font types. So we have to take care of not just blind but people with weak eyesight and other cognitive disabilities also. So avoid using very like stylish kind of fonts, cursive writing type of fonts. So you should be using simple, easy to read fonts. Sans serif fonts actually, those without some rounded or some tail type edges and all. So some of the fonts which are considered good are Arial, Calibri, Verdana, Times New Roman and so on. Some fonts have been specially developed as well for people with dyslexia, and in particular I want to mention one font named Atkinson, Atkinson, Atkinson Hyperlegible. I think it's also for also good for dyslexic people and also good for everybody else.
Can you spell that spelling?
I think it's called Atkinson, Atkinson Hyperlegible. So you can find it online free of cost and install once and use in Word or wherever you want, PowerPoint anywhere. So and font issue becomes a very important, very big issue when you are doing things in regional languages, okay, Indian languages. So very big issue that many fonts in Hindi and I will say Tamil and all are non-Unicode. They are not Unicode compliant. They are totally, absolutely inaccessible for screen readers and braille and they will not even one alphabet over there. So you have to use Unicode fonts only. You can get many indications. Those simply copy and paste some font, some text to Notepad. You will see it will appear as boxes kind of. So then that font is totally non-Unicode, okay, inaccessible. Even those fonts don't work on smartphones, so they are not good for anyone actually. But lot of Unicode fonts are now available, and so make sure that you use Unicode fonts only, particularly when you are doing some Indian language content. Font size, I think minimum 11, better it's 12 for the body text. Then the other text like headings and all should be relatively bigger. No need to think that we have to make it very big considering low vision. Low vision people can use magnification and many other zoom and other things. You have to make it just like good for everyone. So 11 or 12 body text and bigger ones for the headings are okay. Avoid using color as far as possible. Don't use color. If you have to use color, sometimes within a paragraph there are few words, you want to highlight them, you want to bring people's attention on it, and you change it to different color, red or blue or something. So that information is lost for screen reader user, color blind user and many others, okay. So if you have to use colors, use something additional, like put them within quotation marks or underline them, do something more, so that there is more than one way it is identifiable, that piece of information. Okay, so spacing, layout and all. So one thing you can be aware of that people who have language learning disabilities, they are able to increase line spacing, margins, word spacing as per their requirement. So you don't have to worry too much about it. Just think like anybody, like a sighted person also, maybe a person with slightly weak eyesight, you have to make it easy to read for them. So avoid like putting blank lines in between, like enter, because blank line is a blank line, it's technically an empty paragraph. It is unnecessarily read out for the screen reader user, braille user. So use the paragraph spacing instead. Okay, so in Microsoft Word, you can select paragraphs, go to paragraph settings. There you will find the option space before and after. I am highlighting it on screen, space before and after, and you can put some points. I think minimum, generally minimum is 12, but you can increase also. What will happen is that spaces between paragraphs will then increase. You don't have to press enter key to put some white space unnecessarily. In fact, your document should not have even one blank line created by enter key. Okay, so that is technically wrong. So use this paragraph spacing. So what we will do is, for headings, we will put more paragraph spacing before and after it, so that headings are very prominent. For paragraphs, maybe same, maybe 12 points above and below or something. For bullet points, maybe something similar, something less. Tables, maybe just 6 points. All these are like upon you, no hard and fast rules. Two important points: don't insert blank lines, and just take care. Don't make it too cramped or difficult to read. Some generous space between paragraphs and heading should be there. Yes? Okay. Um, okay, so I think our time is till 11, but we will go on till little more because we started late. So, okay, use standard bullets and numbers. Okay, in Microsoft Word we have option of bullets and numbering. Sometimes people will copy some graphics, small arrow shaped graphic, then create a list or something. That is totally inaccessible. Use one of the inbuilt bullets and numbers for your list. Don't customize that much. Okay, now almost to our most important point, most helpful thing. In Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and Excel and Outlook and all, there is an accessibility checker. Okay, there is an accessibility checker, a testing tool already built in. So you must be using it. You can use it as you are creating the document to identify if I already created any accessibility issue, or definitely use it before distribution at the end. So the accessibility checker is able to identify many issues, not all issues. If it says no issues, then don't think that there are no issues. Manual testing is also very important. So how to open accessibility checker? In the newer Microsoft Word versions, it is inside the review tab. There is a button called check accessibility. Okay? Check accessibility. In the older Microsoft Word versions, you have to go to the file menu. There you will find check for issues, and inside it you find this option. Whichever way, it will create an accessibility report like you can see on the screen. It may give you some errors, some warnings and some tips. Errors are some things you must fix. Sometimes it will say these so many graphics don't have all text. That will be the error. It will help you identify the graphic which you can click on it and it will go to that graphic. Or it will say this particular table doesn't have header row, and it will allow you to click on it and go to that table. So those things you should fix. Errors I think you should fix always. Warnings also have a careful look. Sometimes some issues you may feel that it's not correct or it's not possible for me to modify the document. Those can be ignored. So when you are able to fix all issues, you will get this kind of a check mark, kind of a tick mark, a appreciation that your document does not have accessibility issues. But as I'm saying, even then, you have to check it manually. For example, for your images in the alt text field, if you just write A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever, it will pass the test. It will say no issues. But only you will know when you will actually see that it's relevant, it's correct or not. Similarly, it doesn't know how many topics are there in the document and if all have heading styles. It doesn't know. So you have to check those things manually. But there are several things it can pick up and it can be very helpful. So you should be using it. And as far as possible, fix all issues before distribution. Okay, so in the USB drive, I have given you a document with all these points, very in a concise manner, kind of a checklist. What are the things to be kept in mind for Word accessibility? And that has some links. So DAISY Consortium has created a course on accessible Word documents. Okay, so on our website daisy.org, or precisely it is learning.daisy.org, there is a course on creation of accessible Word documents. An online course. There are lessons you can read, watch some videos, answer some questions, and you can even get a certificate. Okay, all free of cost. You have to register first, and then it's totally like without any human intervention from our side. Anybody can do it anytime. So same place, there are some other courses also, like creating EPUB, creating a Daisy audiobook. PowerPoint also almost there or about to be made live. So all these courses are there. Same website, learning.daisy.org. Everything explained in text and many things explained in video, caption video, transcript video properly. So it's available there. Okay.
Any ideas on how to create an accessible PDF from this?
Save us, rather than.
Yes, it's very
I know
good.
Good. So answer is clear. You can just save this Word document as PDF and it will actually be an accessible PDF.
Yes, very good points are brought up. So go to save as, file menu, save as, choose the option save as PDF. Don't do Control P and print as PDF. When you do save as PDF, all the heading styles you did, all the alt text you have done, table, everything carried forward to the PDF. It becomes a very decent, good PDF for the readers. So you can use that. Okay, this is one easier way of creating simpler, accessible PDFs. Okay, I have given you, I think, a longer document for good guide for PowerPoint in my folder. One sample PowerPoint file also where you can practice a few things. Sighted people, I mean, if you can make it a habit to test the document and PowerPoints with a screen reader, nothing like it. I mean, it's very good. If you use accessibility checker, that's almost mandatory, and using little bit of keyboard is mandatory, and the screen reader, if you can, just learn few important basic keystrokes, that will be an excellent. All right, so that is it for now. Thank you.